It's that time of the month again where I film my TBR, but I ate way too much soup for dinner and now I don't feel like it. Also, this is the second time I'm wearing this shirt and I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. But I splattered soup on it today. This is why I don't own white clothing. So last month I introduced you guys to the concept that I have synesthesia. Oh my god, soup brain. You would not believe your eyes. So last month I introduced you guys to the idea that I have synesthesia, and I have specifically, God, I hate saying the technical term for it, so we're not gonna say the technical term for it, but I have number color synesthesia. So when I'm introduced to numbers, I experience/see colors. And what's really fun with that is I was able to have a random number generator pick out numbers, and then from there I tried to pick book covers that best matched the colors that I see based on those numbers. So if you want to know way more detail than that, go watch the last video, but I thought it'd be fun to do that again. I'm going to say really quickly that I made it to every single book that I rolled for except for one of them. And I'm not mad about that one. So go watch my wrap up, which will be coming out very shortly, to know which books I read last month. And I rolled 5 books last week. Soup. I rolled 5 numbers last month to get me 5 book covers. And so I think I'm gonna do that again. I have, once again, already picked out 7 books that I'd really like to read this month. And I think I can do them even if none of them will match the 5 books that I'm hoping to get to. So this month I'm going to be focusing on 2 things in particular with my reading goals. One is I'm going to be really focusing on reading books by Indigenous/Native voices because it's Native Voices Month. God, I should have written it down. This is my fault. So I'm going to be really focusing on reading at least 5 books by Native voices, which includes 3 different authors, and I'm really excited about all of those, and I'll tell you about them when we get to the book part. Second, I am really focusing on cleaning off my physical TBR shelf. So all of these books that I am reading, I believe all of them are ones that I actually own already or have been given to me in ARC form. I am hoping to be able to go into 2021 with having less than 15 books on my physical TBR shelf. And as of right now, I think I have really close to 30. So I've got to do a dent in those books. After saying all of that, some of the other books that I got from the library that I'm hoping to read will be these ones, and that's all you're gonna get to see of them, unfortunately. I have a really fun secret video planned for them, so stay tuned. It'll be coming out quite shortly. Without further ado, let's start your rolling. So how I ended up doing it was I pulled it up on my iPad, a random number generator, and I set the minimum to 10, and then I set the maximum to 99 so that I can get a double-digit number because double digits make really cool colors in my brain. So let's get started. I'm feeling a little less soupy now. The first random number is going to be 59. Did we get 59 last time? We did not. So 59 is, I'm just gonna tell you right now, 59 is like a yellow and a navy. I'm going to be reading the book Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I have read Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse and I enjoyed it. I wanted to love it, but I didn't quite, but I felt like it had I felt like the author did a great job with it, and I wanted to pick up other works by her because I could tell she had so much in her and so much talent, and that maybe with Trail of Lightning it was just me that was the problem. So I'm picking up Black Sun, which just came out recently. Do I know what this is about? No, but if you look at it, there's lots of navy and there's lots of yellow, and I'm excited to pick it up. My book club will be possibly reading this together. This isn't our book for the month, but a few of us wanted to read a book with a Native voice as the author and as the main character, I believe. So we are going to be picking up this one, and now we're looking at a different screen. So the next number that I'm going to get is 64. So that's also kind of a hello there. That's also kind of a blue. That's a much lighter blue, more of a cobalt-y-ish blue next to red. So the next number that I rolled was 64, and for this I had to kind of stretch it a little bit to make it work, but since I'm cleaning off my TBR and that's more important to me, I will be reading the book Replica by Lauren Oliver. I'm excited about this one because this is the book, see the 6 and then the 4 is on the side. Just don't look at the back because it's definitely not a 6 or a 4. This is a book that you can read it from either direction. It's like a chapter each way. It's the same chapter. I don't know how I'm going to read it yet, but I think I'm going to do a chapter here and then a chapter here. What's this about? I think there's clones, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I've read other Lauren Oliver books and I've enjoyed them. 2 girls, 2 stories, 1 epic novel. So I know that there is an institute, some kind of school on an island. Oh, off the coast of Florida. That's where I'm from. Florida man! Basically, the book is told in 2 POVs, but all of one side is one girl's POV and all of the other side is another girl's POV, and you can choose to read them one chapter at a time, or all of one story and then all of the next story, or all of the next story and then the first one, or however you want to. And it's really cool, it's really exciting. And I bought it because it was kind of a novelty and a cool thing, you know, like, yeah. The next number that I'm getting is 33, so that's just pink. Great, I read a pink book last month and I wasn't planning on reading any pink books this month. Perfect, you're gonna ruin my life, 33. It's just pink and I panicked a little bit because I was like, I don't own any pink books. I read You Must Not Miss last month and that's like the only pink book I own. Spoiler alert, that is gonna be coming out really soon. So I looked at my shelf though, and luckily enough, I have Memories of Ash, which is the sequel to Sunbolt, which I read, I believe, in June, and I loved it. I gave it a 5-star. It went on my favorite shelf. It was so good. I don't remember the name of the main character, but we were following this girl in this, I believe it was Indian-inspired culture, and the author is Asian. I cannot remember where she is from at the moment, but I know she is Asian. And she, the main girl, is this like poor person, beggar, pickpocket kind of a thing, and she helps out with these gangs who are trying to better the city because of the government is taking over and everything, and she gets mixed up into something that's not so great, and she gets captured and taken to this tower where she meets a vampire. And I am not a fan of vampire books, but boy, was I all on board for this one, because it wasn't like sexy time vampire that she got to meet. It was like dashing, brave, I'm gonna punch this bad guy's face in vampire. This one, I don't know exactly what this one is going to be about. I do know that the words are quite small on the page, and that scares me a little bit. But I loved the first one so much. I read it in 2 days, I think it was. And then I messaged the author on Goodreads and had to tell her that it was one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And then I bought both of them because I wanted to support her. I recommend checking this series out. I am really hoping I can actually get to this one this month because I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. So the next number that I'm going to be rolling is 70. Okay, so that is green. Green with some white, green with a little bit of black. 0 is a really weird number. I'm not gonna bother explaining it, maybe one day, but today I've eaten a lot of soup and I'm not explaining it. And oh my God, how many times do I have to tell you guys about the soup? I apologize, but I thought it was more important for me to have a realistic TBR with books that I was actually going to read than to put something on here that I knew I wasn't ever going to get to. So for that, I'm going to be reading Alatsue. Let's hope I'm saying that right. Alatso by Darcy Littlebadger. So this 7 is kind of teal. 7 is very green, but teal is somewhat green, and 0 is white and black, so lots of white and black. It counts. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Don't come for me. So this book is another book written by a Native American voice, and I'm really excited about it. I've only heard absolutely amazing things about it. Do I know what it's about? No. I know that it has realistic magic. What is that called? Magical realism isn't the word I want. Fabulism. I know that it has fabulism in it. I know that it's gonna be good. Check this out. I'm going through this really quickly today. Okay, final one is 91. So we're gonna get a navy color and we're gonna get a pale white. So finally, the last number that I rolled for was 91. And for that, I can't hold up the book even though I technically own the physical book because I own the pre-order, and the pre-order hasn't come yet, but it'll be coming the 3rd day of November, so I can't hold it up for you right now. I'm such a chaotic little demon right now. That book is going to be Legacy of Steel, which oh my god, is the sequel to my favorite book ever, Legacy of Ash, which I will be reading Legacy of Ash, even though it's this big. I will be reading it because this is my book club's pick for the month. We did some really cool voting, and they all know me too well and picked my favorite book for me because they knew I was going to have to reread it to read the sequel, which is coming out the 3rd, which means I need to actually read this way before then, so might be starting this before November gets here. Anyways, so this is a epic fantasy where we are following lots of different characters in this realm. Oh god, how do I explain it? You know what? I have an entire video on this, and if you want to know more about this series, go watch that video. I'll have it linked somewhere. Now, the sequel takes place, I think it's a year or two after the events at the end of the first book, and one of the main characters has gone missing. No one can find them. Everyone is kind of in chaos and trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm so thrilled. Matthew Ward actually knows that he's written my favorite book ever because I tweeted him and he liked it. Let's hope that the sequel's just as good. So last month I matched up the rest of the books that I was planning on reading with numbers to help match their covers. I'm a little bit tired, so I haven't pre-planned any of that, so you're just gonna get some gibberish as we go. The next book that I plan on reading this month is, drumroll please, I don't have it here, I'm just gonna have to put it up for you. Wait, I don't know what it looks like. Is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm gonna read a few books by Stephen Graham Jones this month, and I'm really excited to be getting to them. So this book is kind of like a 9 and a 0, 90. I don't know what this book is about. I know it's a horror, I know it's intense, I know that it has a native author. I know the old saying, an only good Indian is a dead Indian, which I don't know if that's what the book is referencing, because that's an awful saying and no one should be saying it. I don't know. I don't go into books knowing what they're about, in case you are new to this channel, or you know, new to people reading books in general. God, who do you think I am? My mother? Anyways, I'm gonna be reading that one, and I'm also going to be reading Mapping the Interior, which is a short story. I am going to be listening to Mapping the Interior. I bought it on Audible, and I'm really excited. Do I know what that one is about? No, but I know that that one leans more into the fantasy realm and tells, it's still kind of horror-y, but it's way more fantasy-y, and I think it's something about a boy and dreams or something like that. Cool. There'll be a video actually coming out this month where I talk about my reading experience for both of those books and possibly one more. So if you want to know more about them, check that out. After or before that, who knows when I'm actually going to get to any of these, which order I'll read them in. I'm hoping to read the book. See, this would have been a better 70. Maybe I should have used that for 70. Too bad. Providence of Fire by Brian Stavely. So I read whatever the first one of this is. I read The Emperor's Blade a few months ago. August. I read it in August and I freaking loved it. 5 stars. Once I got past the first chapter, which I actually thought about DNFing in the first chapter, once I got past that, I freaking loved it. Yeah, it had its issues. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I thought it was really good and I really enjoyed it, and it felt fresh and new and enjoyable to me. So I instantly went out and bought the 2nd and 3rd, but I haven't bought the 4th one yet. And he is releasing a new series in the world, but now it's following a female protagonist, and I believe it comes out next year, and I'm so excited about it. So excited. So I'm going to be finally reading this one, which I've been wanting to get to for so long, basically since I stopped this first one, but I don't know, I don't like reading sequels right after I read the first one, which I feel like is a character flaw of mine. Oh well. So I don't know what this one's about. I know that the first one we followed 3 siblings, adult siblings, as their father, the emperor, has died. So one of them, the eldest, has been sent off to study as a monk for his whole entire life to prepare to become the emperor. The next oldest, I think the next oldest is the boy, but it might be the girl. The next oldest, the boy, has been sent off to be a soldier to train so that he can protect his brother one day. And the third, the daughter, has been staying at the court preparing for when her brothers return so that she can help them acclimate back to court life. And you get to see a little bit of all of their lives and this plot to, because the emperor has been killed, a plot to kill the new emperor, which is the oldest son, and you get to see this extreme training that the second born gets to go through, and you get to see the politics that the daughter gets to go through, and it's so interesting and exciting, and there's lots of twists and turns, and there's some really, really cool magic. There's this group of people who can do magic, but they have to pull the energy from something around them, and it's like their goal in life not to let anyone know what they're pulling it from, because then those people could make sure that that item is kept away from them, because the people who can do this magic are considered like bad people and no one likes them and they're demons in this realm, but really they're just ordinary people who can do magic. So yeah, there's lots of politics and it's really cool and I like it a lot. The next book that I am going to read is, I'll hold it up in a second. It's The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which lots of people have read and talked about. I think it's something about this young boy who is like a bastard son and his father died? No. Someone died and now he's being sent back to court or something, and they've decided that because he isn't really royalty but he isn't really a commoner, the best job for him is to be an assassin. So this is what the cover looks like. Sorry, I'm so out of it tonight. So yeah, what's this? I guess this could be a 60. This could also be a 72. There's lots of nice colors on here. I don't know what this kid's name is. It's part of the Farseer trilogy. Robin Hobb, you know, the one and only. Actually, there's probably lots of Robin Hobbs out there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So the final book that I am planning on reading this month is an arc, and this is the only arc that I'm going to be reading this month. Hopefully, maybe not, we'll see. Those are the three options, aren't they? So I'm going to be reading The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, which is a pseudonym for Marie Brennan. Oh, I should probably make this bigger for you. So this arc, I believe, comes out in January 2021. I'm so thrilled to be reading this. I actually talk about this in a video, which I will have linked somewhere. If you want to know more about it, you can go there, but I'm not going to talk about it a lot. I will be talking about it in my wrap-up for the month, as long as I've actually read it this month. I guess that blue, and I guess this could be like a 65. It could be like a 659 because there's some darker blue in here too. It's really pretty. It's really cool. So that's it. Soup brain got me really weird tonight. I apologize for this chaoticness. I'm not gonna eat that much soup again for a really long time. I'm not even that big of a fan of soup, honestly. It was just easy and in my refrigerator. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I will talk to you all in the comments. Bye.